A homeless shelter at Golden Hall is now closing, where the people staying there are being moved.
We love you and we'll miss you dearly.
A family's warning about extreme heat after a young man's death.
The convention center in the city cannot fall asleep on this one.
Will Comic-Con leave San Diego after next year?
Extreme heat is on the way for San Diego County with an excessive heat warning going into effect this morning. How temperatures are expected to rise and how long this heat will last. It's Monday, July 24th, and you're up with CBS 8.
Later this morning, the San Diego City Council will discuss the temporary relocation of people sheltered at Golden Hall. Thanks for being here on this Monday at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Carrie Lane in Frenetta, Iranpur. The downtown homeless shelter was damaged during a series of winter storms last year. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol, she's live downtown to explain it all and what could potentially happen next. Good morning, Dana Marie.
Good morning, Eric and Carrie. That's right. Because of those winter storms, as well as just the age of the building, soon it will become unsafe for residents to be there. Now, that's why the city is really going to have to look for hundreds of new beds for these people experiencing homelessness to move. Now, right now, 507 people are staying at the Golden Hall shelter downtown, which is operated by Father Joe's Villages. It will close sometime soon, and the process to move those people will be slow. The Director of Communications for Mayor Todd Gloria told the Union Tribune intakes for families halted already as work continues on a new family shelter that will be a former Barrio Logan travel lodge. The city began leasing that last week. Now, the 42-room hotel could accommodate up to 168 people if each room has 4 family members staying in it. Now, the city entered into an agreement with HIG Downtown Investments, LLC, for $151,000 to provide this temporary motel shelters for families. Now, Golden Hall is not only one for families, but also a shelter for single men and youth. It has been operating under a temporary permit since 2019. And again, because in November of 2022, substantial damage was caused on the ceilings and wall because of rain. It did need emergency repairs to prevent any additional impacts to human health and safety during that time. But because it was just a temporary permit, now the city is looking for a permanent solution. Communications Director for Mayor Todd Gloria again said there is no set plan for where to find shelter for these single men and transitional age youths right now, but it is important to know no one will have to leave until other sites are found. Besides the Travelodge, San Diego is using a city-owned former hotel in the South Bay as a shelter for seniors and is leasing another hotel in Little Italy for senior shelter. Now, San Diego City Council is going to meet today at 10 a.m. to discuss that emergency contract to temporarily relocate people at the Golden Hall shelter. Again, many city officials, including Mayor Todd Gloria, said this has been a challenge, of course, finding affordable housing, just another step in the process of getting people off the street. I'm Dana Marie McNichol coming to you live from Harbor Island.
Dana Marie, thank you. New this morning, a man is recovering in the hospital after being stabbed at a Lakeside park last night. The San Diego Sheriff's Department says this happened around 9 p.m. at Lindo Lake Park. Deputies say a group of people, they began fighting and one man was stabbed and taken to the hospital. A sheriff's helicopter and deputies looked for the people in the fight, but they drove away. No arrests have been made. And today, Larry Miliete is set to appear in court. He is accused of killing his wife, Maya, who's been missing since 2021. The Chula Vista mother's body was never found. A judge ruled back in January that there was enough evidence to hold her husband for trial. His murder trial will start on October 9th. He has pleaded not guilty to 1 count of murder and 1 count of possession of an illegal assault weapon.
And this morning, a man is hurt after he was shot while trying to break up an argument in the East Village. It happened early yesterday morning near Park Boulevard and Broadway. Investigators say the off-duty security guard was on his way to work. They say he tried to break up that fight when someone pulled out a gun and fired it, hitting the man in the leg. A former hospital corpsman happened to be walking by after the shooting and stopped to help.
I was coming across the street and I was careful on how I approached because I didn't know if he was a good guy or bad guy, but I said, look, I was a hospital corpsman with the Marines. Can I look at your leg? And I said, we need to get a tourniquet. But we got to get his pants off. I got to see what's going on.
The suspects took off running. Officers say they will be looking at surveillance video to try and get descriptions of those involved. The security guard is expected to be okay. This morning, 3 San Diego police officers are in the hospital after a utility vehicle rolled over just north of Scripps Pier in La Jolla. All we know is the officers involved have minor injuries. The police department's traffic and fleet safety personnel is investigating what led up to this crash. We will continue to follow this developing story and update you as we learn more. And new information this morning about a fatal crash on the 15 in Kearney Mesa. The California Highway Patrol saying a 28-year-old man lost control of his white Honda sedan just before 7 north of the 52. Officers say he hit both a guardrail and a signpost and was ejected from his vehicle. The car split in half with both sides landing about 40 feet from each other. The driver was from Riverside County. Authorities say it's unclear if drugs or alcohol were a factor.
This morning, a jockey is in the hospital after his horse fell at the Del Mar racetrack. This happened yesterday. The horse named Get the Gold fell after the start of the 4th race and tossed jockey Abel Cedillo. Now, officials say on social media that Cedillo is being evaluated and that the horse was able to walk off the track on its own. Meantime, another San Diego man has died after hiking in Death Valley, which is the hottest place on Earth. Temperatures there have reached nearly 130 degrees this week. The LA Times reports that 71-year-old Steve Curry died last week after an hours-long hike at Death Valley National Park. The paper reports he was a San Diego native. He's the second local hiker to die at the park this month. Curry is believed to have died from heat-related causes only hours after he talked to a reporter about hiking in the heat. He collapsed outside a restroom. Park rangers were not able to revive him. And this morning, we are hearing from the friend of a biker who died while trying to help others during the heat wave. 24-year-old Kai Bronson died last weekend while biking in the mountains of Jacamba. He was riding with a group when they stopped to help 4 hikers suffering from heat exhaustion. Bronson later collapsed from the heat. Temperatures were reported as high as 110 degrees. His death was especially shocking for his family because he's an avid biker and extremely athletic and in great shape.
We love you and we'll miss you dearly, and we'll celebrate you every day for the rest of our lives.
Bronson's family hopes this sends a message to everyone about the dangers of extreme heat conditions, no matter how trained you think you are.
Well, the heat continues here today with a chance for rain and thunderstorms in the desert. That is video of some of the rain we got yesterday. I felt it out at the ballpark yesterday too. So yeah, very light. Lightning was also reported in our deserts here. And amid the heat, people are taking advantage of county-provided cool zones. There are 33 cool zones listed throughout the county to help people beat the heat. CBS 8 caught up with one woman in the East County who's been using the Crest Library to escape the intense heat. She says she's seen temperatures at 107 at her place. While she does have AC at home, she knows using it can get expensive, so she's glad to have an alternative.
I have air conditioning at home, but I'd rather use theirs. Let the county pay the bill. I am so grateful. There's no words to express my gratitude.
Get lost in all the books there while you're beating the heat. Not a bad deal. We have the list of cool zones on our website, and we're not the only ones dealing with the hot weather either. Tens of millions of Americans from the southwest of Florida remain under excessive heat warnings. So hot around the entire country. Here is no exception. Today's going to be what? More mild here, Carrie, but that warm-up is in store here the rest of the week?
Yeah, we are headed for some extreme temperatures. In fact, there's an excessive heat warning that is in effect for the San Diego County desert communities. This will start at noon today and expire 8 o'clock tomorrow. We have high pressure that is going to start to build and expand, keeping most of the nation really warm. Take a live look outside Mount Woodson facing west. You can see the clouds in the distance. Yes, those clouds have been hanging out. Yesterday was very overcast with some very light rain in some parts of the county. Those clouds will stick around for the morning and night hours over the course of the next couple of days, especially along the coast. As we get into Wednesday, though, we will have plenty of sunshine for the inland valleys, mountains, and deserts where it will get extremely hot. Right now, downtown San Diego is been fairly nice this morning. Humidity has been 100%, 63 degrees right now, winds out of the northwest 4 miles per hour. So it's a cool start to the day, but very muggy outside. Over the course of the next couple of days along the coast, pretty mild. The good news is, even though our inland valleys, mountains and deserts will get extremely warm, we do have some relief at the coast. So there is a place to go to beat the heat, and that would be the beaches. Mix of sun and clouds pretty much for most of the week. We're mostly in the low 80s to upper 70s along our beaches, but it's going to be the inland valleys where you really experience that heat. Tomorrow expected to be 93 degrees, 94 on Wednesday, climbing through Thursday, and really not expecting any relief until we get to about Sunday. And when I say relief, I'm talking about just a couple of degrees. So for the mountains and deserts, well, the mountains are going to be in the 90s all week and the deserts in the triple digits. But like I said, the inland valleys also seeing that heat as the clouds do start to dissipate, especially on Wednesday, and we have much more clear skies. We are going to be muggy over the next couple of days, but like I said, just go to the beach and you'll get your relief there. Okay, let's get you caught up on traffic. Here's a look at the border wait times from the CBP website. It is 65 minutes for the general line at the San Ysidro Port of Entry and 75 minutes for the general line at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. Eric?
All right, still ahead here, a toddler has died from a brain-eating amoeba. The warning about this rare infection. Plus, how this note here may have helped save a teenager's life. And the World Health Organization says an artificial sweetener can possibly lead to cancer. We will verify what this really means.